Welcome. Non-detailed part, Chapter 1 Treasure Island, Part 1, 10th Standard, English First Language Part 1. As per 2024-2025 Karnataka State Board Syllabus, the author of the Island lesson is Robert Louis Stevenson. Rereading activity. Do you remember any story or film based on treasure hunting adventure? Share it in class. Absolutely. One classic treasure hunting story that comes to mind is Indiana Jones and the Riders of the Lost Ark. This 1981 adventure film, directed by Steven Spielberg, follows the thrilling quest of archaeologist Indiana Jones as he races against time to find the Ark of the Covenant, a biblical artifact of immense power. Plot summary. Set in 1930s, Indiana Jones is tasked by the US government to retrieve the Ark before it falls into the hands of the Nazis, who believed that possessing it will make their armies invincible. The adventure takes him across the globe, from the South American jungles to Egyptian deserts. Along the way, he faces deadly traps, uncovers ancient secrets, and confronts enemies determined to stop him. The film is packed with iconic moments, high stake action, and a memorable performance by Harrison Ford as Indiana Jones. It's a thrilling example of classic treasure hunt genre, blending history, mythology, and pulse pounding adventure. See, the story starts here, the treasure island. Before that, let me introduce you the main characters of this treasure hunter story. Jim's Hawkins. Jim Hawkins is the young boy. He has parents living in they are running the inn. His father is ill and mother and this boy Jim Hawkins running this inn. Inn means like it is the restaurant with lodge. People come and stay here and go. It's on the only inn available in the island. People go and come and stay there and have food and go. This is their life. Because of their father illness, their financial condition is not so good. Long John Silver is one more main character in this story. He is a one-legged man and with the parrot on his shoulder. This is symbol. This is a cunning man and very charismatic and he's pragmatic person he is. That means he will always he's a cunning and selfish man, but leading qualities he has. Interesting character in this story. Dr. Livesey. Dr. Livesey, and he is the doctor in that island as well as magistrate. Both the jobs he is doing at that time. Dr. Livesey is. He is a wise, courageous doctor who helps Jim and the other protagonist. He is visiting Jim's house to treat his father, as well as he is the magistrate of that island. Both the jobs he is doing there. Captain Smollett, the brave and honorable captain of the Hispaniola, the ship that sails to the island. The Hispaniola is the name of the ship they are using to treasure uh, island. In that, Captain Smollett is hired by the team, the Jim, Dr. Livesey, and uh, Trelawney. The Trelawney is the person who is choosing the people, crew members. In that, he chose the Captain Smollett as the captain of the ship. Billy Bones. Captain Smollett, he is Captain Smollett. And then the Billy Bones. Billy Bones is the a person who visited the Jim Hawkins in the island. Okay, he visited, and the mysterious thing is he has a treasure map and he has a chest. Just means some thing that is a wooden trunk like it is. Those who are traveling in ships, they keep that to keep their valuable things in that. So Billy Bones has one chest with him, and in that the treasure map is there. Who gives it to Jim? Then that story takes the interesting start from here. His Billy Bones visits is a plot for starting the treasure hunt. Where Trelawney, he is the person. He is the wealthy person in that island. He is financing the treasure hunt travel. Okay, this Square Trelawney is the person who is choosing the crew members. He is the main person. He chose the Captain Smollett also. Dr. Livesey contacted Square Trelawney to choose the crew members and finance the treasure hunt travel. Ben Gunn is a marooned pirate. Ben Gunn is a person who left marooned. That means he left alone there on the island by the previous team who came with their ship there, but he betrayed them. That's why, as a punishment, they leave him alone at that island. This is the person who helped them to find the treasure in that island. This is also main character Ben Gunn. Finally, at the last stage, is the Square Telane. Then wait, this is the Ben Gunn. Why he's holding a gold in his hand, but even though his costume is poor only because after the treasure hunt is over, everybody shared their share, but he also got a property, even though he lost within a year everything and become poor again. This is like this character, this Bengun character. Jim Hawkins' father and mother kept the Admiral Benbow Inn, which was the only building in a lonely cow in west of England. In the west of England, in an island, the Admiral Benbow is the name of that inn. There is a restaurant with lodge that is called inn in those days. Jim Hawkins is the young boy who is living with his parents in this. His father is running this inn, but in the middle, his father fall ill. That's why their financial condition is not so good. His mother, Jim's mother and Jim, both of them are working hard to run that Admiral Benbow Inn, but they are not earning enough money to pay the rent also. One ice cold winter's day, a wizened old seaman with the saber scar across his face arrived at inn and took a room. It was a cold winter day. Wizened old seaman here is the Billy Bone. There is a person he came and visited this island and asked for the shelter, and he is paying a rent for that. He took a room in that inn. His sole possession was an old sea chest. Sea chest is a wooden box in which all his secret things are kept, which he guarded as a miser hoards his fortune. His future is depending on that chest. He's very careful about that chest. This is interesting point about Billy Bones. Here the name comes here, Billy. Billy as an old sea dog called himself. He himself called as a old sea dog. Told young Jim to keep a weather eye out for a seafaring type with one leg and gave him a pence piece for his trouble. See, here Billy Bones is explaining to Jim that he is telling one person with one-legged man and a parrot on his shoulder will come and visit you and ask for me. Be careful about him. He's very cautious with him and inform me whenever he comes. You inform me. He has a fear of this man. Who is this man is? Let's see the name in the future. The character of that person who might visit is one-legged man with a parrot on his shoulder. This is the person about whom the Billy Bones, who is taking the room, is informing the Jim about the features the person may come and be careful about him and give me the information for that weathering eye on that person. The Billy Bones is paying 4 pence. The pity, his generosity doesn't run to pay rent, Jim's father grumbled. Jim's father is ill here, we already know, but as the boy gave him the 4 pence, the father said, "This is not enough to pay rent." Father is grumbling, lying on the bed. Jim's father was having trouble making the inn pay. So in rent he could not pay. In such much trouble he was, and he was so ill that Jim and his mother feared he would not outlive the winter. They are waiting to pass the winter because this winter causing trouble to him. They have a fear that they may lose their head of the family. During the evenings, Billy Bones, who took room there, is what he was doing is Billy would sit in his corner of the bar, drinking rum and singing. 15 men on the Dead Man's Chest. This is a song he's singing. He's sitting on um, a corner of the bar and singing. 15 men on the Dead Man's Chest. Yo ho ho ho, and the bottle of rum. This is the song he's singing. While the daytime would find him on the rocks, looking nervously out to sea. While the daytime, what he will do? Simply go and sit on one stone near the seashore and wait, looking at the sea. It was several weeks after Billy's arrival that another mysterious seafaring man appeared. A shallow, evil looking fellow with the two fingers missing. One person visited this Billy Bones. His two fingers were missing in the fight. They were talking. He argued with the Billy, and in no time, and the two were fighting furiously. The fight started between them. Wounded, the stranger was to put a flight, but Billy was left stretched out on the floor, gasping for a breath. This strange person with the two fingers cut and the Billy Bones fighting near that inn, and the Jim, his mother, and Dr. Life say another character will be introduced. These people are watching from the inn what's going on, but this Billy Bones is fighting with this stranger who has no two fingers. In that fight, what happened? Stranger also wounded, Billy Bones also wounded. Stranger left after the fight, leaving him there on the ground. Stretched out means he lying on the ground and gasping for breath. He is feeling difficulty in taking a breath. In such a bad condition, the Billy is. Dr. Livesay, who had come to treat Jim's ailing father, told Billy he had a stroke. The doctor came, Dr. Livesay is the doctor as well as magistrate of that island. He came to visit the Jim's father to giving a treatment. He treated Billy also at that time. Billy was falling down after fighting with the strange man. That's at that time why he collapsed. They went there and the Dr. Livesay saved him and told him that he has a stroke. He bled him, put him up to bed, and forbade him to any more rum. Doctor said him, you can't drink now on the rum. Stop drinking rum, told the doctor to Billy Bones. Billy called Jim to his side. So Billy Bone is sick now, so he believed in Jim and called him and told him some secrets. His eyes burned with a fever as he spoke. He had a fever. He he feared that he might die. That's why he's asking Jim, I must shift before the rubbers get to me and gives me the black spot. This black spot is whenever the treasure hunting team goes on a ship as a team, they black spot the people or one person maybe. They give a black spot means one black sheet of paper they'll give him. That means they are abandoning him. They are giving up him from the team of the treasure hunting. And uh, at any time they may attack him. He is not one of the person of the team. This is what called the black spot at that time. This black spot, who got it? Billy Bones got this. Mystified Jim asked him to explain. Jim asked him, what is black spot? What is this all? Jim is asking him. Billy said that the black spot was a pirate summons. The pirate who are traveling in a ship for hunting treasure, those are all called pirates. Pirate summons. He had been a member of the notorious Captain Flint's crew. Who is Captain Flint here? Captain Flint is one person is a captain of the ship or the crew who already leaded the pirates for the treasure hunting. That team's member was Billy Bones, but he was summoned by them. They gave him black spot because he may betrayed them. Whatever he did for such things, they will give them black spot. And he was afraid they were coming to do for him and steal his old sea chest. See what he did there, not explained here, but they are coming. He definitely knew that they are going to come and search for him and they may kill him. This is fear Billy Bones is having. Or from which team? Captain Flint's crew train. But Jim soon forgot Billy's problems. For later that night, the doctor told him that his father had died. But Jim is in tension. Billy is telling all these problems. Doctor told him that his father had died on the same night. Doctor told him. That's why he is in tension. He's not listening to what Billy is telling. The same day that James' father was laid to rest, the blind old pirate called Blind Pew came to the Admiral Benbow. Here, on the same day, on the death of James' father, blind old pirate came there. His name was Blind Pew because he was blind. That's why his name is Blind Pew. Came to the Admiral Benbow. Admirable Benbow is that is name of the inn that is run by Jim and his mother now. Jim unwittingly led him to the bar. Jim was in tension because he lost his father. That's why he didn't think much about the blind pew. He took him to the bar, where he slapped a circular piece of black paper into Bill's hand before he could avoid him. Bill's means here Billy Bone. He's called Bill's here. He gave the black sheet of paper to the Billy Bone. This is what Black Spot got by the Billy Bone, by the Captain Flint's team. By the time Blind Pew had taken his leave again, Blind Pew went away again, came to visit his father. Billy lay gasping on the floor, dying of Matthew's stroke. This is only explained here the scene. Maybe Blind Pew and the Billy Bones fight again. Uh, After drinking rum, again Billy Bone is sick. Maybe the condition is like this. He's gasping for air because of the stroke, massive stroke. Again, he's dying now. Who Billy Bone is dying now. His last words were the pirates would be upon him that same evening. Still, he has a fear. His death is coming near, but he don't have the fear of death. But he has a fear of that Captain Flint's pirates may come and search for him and kill him. This fear he is having, Billy Bones is having now. Jim and his mother quickly searched through Billy's precious sea chest. This is the danger he is having. The Jim and his mother thought that if the pirates of the Captain Flint's team come and search their inn, they will be in danger. Their inn will be in danger. They may damage the things in there. In that, actually, they are in a financially poor condition. They are. That's why they want to protect their inn. That's why they are searching Billy Bones' sea chest. His mother took as much coins as to cover the old pirates' rent. What she did, they wanted a rent to pay for their inn. They took that on a rent and running business there. So they needed the money to pay the rent. That much only coin she took from that sea chest and not a half a penny more. Exactly same amount she took. While Jim found an intriguing bundle of papers. In that, Jim found a bundle of papers wrapped in a oilcloth, which he pocketed as a payment for his services. Alarmed by the loud voices, here outside, Jim heard the voices. Some people, strange people, are coming. And his mother fled out into the night and hid. Her mother, they know that place very well, get out of the inn and hid in the dark. As the blind Pew and several pirates arrived. Before only blind Pew visited. He was blind. He visited the Billy Bones and fought with him. Now he came with several pirates and proceeded to ransack the inn. They want to search the inn. They attacked the inn and took control over the inn, but mother and the Jim were outside the inn now. Blind Pew and the pirates were outraged that what they sought from Billy's sea chest had gone missing. They came and searched the sea chest, what Billy Bones bought there. Blind Pew didn't get anything out of that because the Jim's mother took the money from that, and the boy Jim took out the papers, bundle of papers from that sea chest. Now, Blind Pew is not getting anything there. Knowing that Jim and his mother could not have gone far, they rushed outside. They know that Jim and his mother escaped from there. They have not gone far away from here. They are rushed outside, but before they could find the fugitives, they were ridden down by the several horsemen. Horsemen are the officers from that island. They came to rescue the Jim and his mother. Jim and his mother saw that their saviors were revenue officers who had been tipped off that there was a pirate ship moored nearby. These are the revenue officers who collect taxes from the people from that island. Okay, they are working as a soldiers who are protectors of that island as well as the revenue officers. Both the jobs they are doing at that time. Mm, Tripped off that there was a pirate ship moored nearby. While hiding, they tripped off, but they saw the ship there. The rest of the pirates had escaped. They escaped, but Blind Pew, he was a blind, that's why he could not escape, lay dead on the ground. How he died, Blind Pew? Where he had been knocked down by one of the horses. He was under the horse's leg, he crushed with the horses, and that's why he is dead. Blind Pew is dead in this fight or the scene here. While his mother was cared for the boy's friends, Jim was taken to Squire Trelawney's house. He is a landlord, the rich person there, Trelawney, who is funding for the Treasure Island trip, where the Dr. Livesey happening to be dining. Trelawney and Dr. Livesey both are friends. Dr. Livesey is having two responsibilities. He is doctor and treating the people in that island, as well as he is a magistrate in that island. Trelawney is the landlord of that area. Like he is the main person or the king of that island. Like that. He is the richest person there. Who is uh, funding the people who are in future or who are going to the treasure hunting now. The square and the doctor were the local magistrates. The square is the person and the doctor. Both are the team as a team. They are magistrates and asked to be told that had happened that evening. And they asked what happened that evening there at the inn. They are asking the information about that as a magistrate. When Jim had finished his story, Jim is telling everything from the beginning. Will Billy Bones came and visited and stood there. From that point, this whole story started, and how the blind Pew visited, and again he came with the pirates and attacked the inn. And in that blind Pew died. This whole story Jim explained to them. He produced the papers he had taken. With that, Jim gave them the set of papers he took from the sea chest, adding that he was sure they were that what the pirates had been searching for. He was sure that they are searching for a treasure hunt. This is a map of that treasure hunt. Jim knew that. So he's telling to the landlord and the magistrate there. The two men were in a complete agreement. For what they had before them was a treasure map showing where the buccaneer Captain Flint had buried all his booty. Here, Captain Flint, as explained before, buried his treasure or the money. He is in that island. So, they are searching for this. They are on a mission to go and search that treasure. So, all this, Doctor and Square Trelawney, who is the landlord of that island, both came together and they start to go for treasure hunt. Squire Trelawney and the Dr. Livesey hurriedly made plans for a voyage to the island where the treasure lay buried. Both decided to go there. Jim was to be their cabin boy. So they took Jim with them. They want help from the small boy also, like a serving tea, serving food, some small jobs they want to give to Jim. Jim, that's why took with them Jim. The square traveled to Bristol. It's a place where he bought a fine schooner called Hispaniola. He went to Bristol and bought Hispaniola ship as well as hiring a sea captain. From Bristol, they bought ship as well as the sea captain. The ship cook was to be the one-legged old sailor. Here comes the cook for the ship they needed. They chose the old sailor Long John Silver. He is a very good cook who had given the Square Trelawney invaluable help in picking the rest of the crew members. This is a mistake happened here. They chose Long John Silver. This is a mysterious and cunning character in this whole story, Long John Silver. Here, the Trelawney made a mistake while choosing the Long John Silver, who is a one-legged man with a parrot on his shoulder. This person he is. This is a cunning person. He cannot believe him. Such a cunning man he is. So Square Trelawney took responsibility of choosing the crew members. He chose the wrong person, and Long John Silver helped him choosing the rest of the crew members. Half of the crew members are chosen by Long John Silver here. This is a mistake done by Square Trelawney. Square Trelawney is a funder who is funding this trip, but he trusted Long John Silver in taking the crew members. Here he made a mistake. All those chosen by Long John Silver are Long John Silver's men, those are. So those people will be led by Long John Silver. This is a mistake, blunder mistake did by Square Trelawney. Jim and the doctor joined the square in a Bristol on the eve of their departure. At the time of departure, Jim and doctor also joined there. Doctor didn't participate in Dr. Lives didn't participate in choosing the crew members. Few people are the Doctor Islands in where the inn is situated. That islands people are there. Half of the people are chosen by here. The Long John Silver, who is a one-legged man with a parrot on his shoulder. In Jim's absence, an apprentice was hired to help his mother, who is going to help his mother there running the inn, run the Admiral Benbow. Admiral Benbow is like a restaurant come a lodge it is. To run that, his father is also no more. His father is dead now. Mother need a help. Instead of Jim, one boy was hired there to help his mother. At first, Jim wondered whether the Long John Silver was the same one-legged buccaneer that old Billy had been so worried about. The old Billy was worried about this Long John Silver. He gave four pence to the Jim to keep an eye on the person Long John Silver, the one-legged man with a parrot on his shoulder. This person may come and search for him. This was the person, the Billy Bones, when entered the inn. He was informed the Jim about him and gave him fourpence for that. For the ship's cook named Barbecue. Long John Silver Barbecue. The barbecue name is given to Long John Silver. Had such a pleasing manner. He was very pleasing, well mannered now, and was so very friendly that he soon forgot all his doubts. Jim forgot all his doubts and trusted the Long John Silver. This is such an interesting character, Long John Silver, in this story. He'll gain the trust of the people. When Jim, the doctor, and the Square Trelawney went aboard the Hispaniola, it is the name of the ship they chose, the next morning, the Captain Smollett is chosen by Trelawney, demanded an urgent word with them. Who demanded here? Jim. Called there all three persons, Dr. Livesey, Square Trelawney, and Captain Smollett. Jim called them for a word. What he told them, he said he was unhappy that he had no hand in choosing his crew and was unhappier still that everyone knew that they were selling for treasure. This is what they are going to hunt the treasure. Okay, they are going to get at the end of this adventure the huge money they are going to get in such a treasure. They should be careful by choosing the crew members, but they have made a mistake here by choosing the one-legged man with the parrot on his shoulder. Who is that person? Long John Silver. They made this mistake here. The Square Trelawney, who is the landlord, admitted he had been unwise to let them slip their secret. So Long John Silver also know that every crew member knew the secret now. This is mistake is done by Square Trelawney, who is the who is funding the landlord in this story, and promised and would keep the treasure map hidden from everyone. Now then he promised that what they had the important thing with them is the map. I will keep it hidden from them, he told. The Hispaniola set sail on the evening tide and was soon making excellent progress. It is going forward. Very fast it is going. The sleek schooner performed admirably even in heavy seas, and the Captain Smollett had to agree that in spite of his misgivings, the crew could not be faulted. All the crew members were working fantastically, and Captain Smollett leading this. Everything was going smoothly. Then each man went out his duty in a good spirits. None more than Long John Silver, with his parrot, Captain Flint. Here, two times the Captain Flint comes in this story. Captain Flint is name of the parrot, which is on his shoulders, quacking. Pieces of eight, pieces of eight. This is what the parrot is, quacking always. This parrot's name is Captain Flint. Name of the previous treasure hunt, the Captain Flint is the name of that person. That person's name, the Long John Silver, kept to his parrot. Two characters having the same name in this. To respect that captain, he kept his name, and so voyage proceeded without a hitch. But there was a treachery afoot. That means treachery means uh, betray the trust of the people who trust you. This is called treachery. Then it is there. Everything is till now. Everything is going on smooth. Late one evening, as Hispaniola nears the destination, as the destination is nearing, Jim went looking for an apple to eat, but finding the apple barrel nearly empty, he climbed right onto it. Now, in Hispaniola, Jim was hungry and looking for an apple, but he found a barrel empty. They drink all the apple wine available there, so nothing was there to eat. While hidden inside it, he overheard. So that barrel was empty, so he jumped into it and he overheard a conversation between Long John Silver and the ship's coxswain, in which Silver boasted of his privacy with Captain Flint. So he knew the secret that this is a treasure hunt. So the persons chosen by Long John Silver were on his side. He split the team into two groups. The members chosen by Long John Silver were with him, and he is telling them this is a treasure hunt. They are not telling us about this. So, who had died of drink and of his plan to kill the skipper, the squire, and the doctor once the treasure was found? His plan is he's telling his plan to his team members, the crew members chosen by Long John Silver. He's telling them that once we reach the destination, we kill Doctor, the Square Trelawney, and Jim. We kill all three of them, and then we loot the whole treasure for us only. He's telling and teaming up with them. Jim was terribly afraid he would be found out. If he found out, Long John will kill him at that spot only. But just then, cry rang out that roused the entire ship, for in the moonlight land had been sighted. So somebody shouted there, land is there, we found the island here. They are shouting at the same time. There was a little bit crowd. The next morning, under Long John Silver's expert guidance, he claimed he had visited the island before on trading ship. He is lying. He went that island on treasure hunt only, but he is telling that he visited that on a trading ship. For business, he came to this island, he is telling. The Hispaniola found a safe anchorage in an almost landlocked channel to the south of the island. To the south of the island, they went near that. Jim secretly warned the Captain Smollett. Now, Jim overheard the Long John Silver's words, and then what he did now is he went to Captain Smollett and the Square Trelawney and the doctor of the Long John Silver's treacherous plan. He told to both of them that about the treacherous man, the Long John Silver is breaking their trust and making a the protesting this team, and he's against this team now. He want to kill all three: Jim, Captain Smollett, and Square Trelawney at the end, and he want to loot everything what is available there. This is his plan. He explained. Jim explained to Captain Smollett and the doctor about this. The captain said that for the time being they should pretend they knew nothing. So captain was a smart here. That's why he was captain. He told to Jim and everybody in that team that we should keep it as a secret. We just behave as it we are into the trap of Long John Silver and behave as per his wish now. After that, as there were only 7 of the 26 people aboard the ship, only on the ship are only 7 people are there. They could rely upon, and odds were stacked against their survival. Only 7 people were left on the ship now, remaining are going to the um, island now. They have stocked all the things for eating and all they took with them. Jim remarked that the treasure island had a brooding and menacing air. It was rough there. He didn't know about the treasure, said the doctor, but it was pound to a penny that malaria lurked in the island's steamy marshes. So doctor went to treat the people suffering there with the malaria in that island. He was a doctor. That was his duty. But this was their plan. They want to split the Long John Silver's team to save themselves from his attack. So what doctor did is Dr. Livesay went out of the team to the island so that there was people are suffering from malaria. He went to treat them. That was the accident. They were suffering, actually suffering. It was also the part of their plan. So he escaped from there. Now that the ship was at the anchor, the crew became very agitated and surly, fearing they would mutiny straight away. Now they got a chance. The people of the Long John Silver's people, they got a good chance. Now the doctor is not there. Out of the three, one is away from there. Doctor is not there. He went to treat the malaria at the island. So this is a very good chance for them to betray. The Captain Smollett told them they could take the rest of the day off. You can take a day off. No need to work today. You can roam around and have fun in the island. He told them. Long John Silver, who had done his best to calm things down, led a party of sailors ashore. This leaving all the people on the crew members on the ship, this doctor went to island to treat the people who are suffering from malaria. But the crew members were unhappy. They are unhappy because this person is not serious about hunting the treasure. He went to do the another job, and they are a little bit unhappy that they are left there only. He went into the island, but 6 of their number were left about to guard the ship. 6 people were to guard the ship. Someone else can steal the ship. That's why they are the guarding ship and keep an eye on the captain. and those who were not part of the treacherous plot. Treacherous means those who are betraying, and Long John Silver's team it is. Keep eye on the captain. They want to keep him under arrest. Acting more on instinct than anything else, Jim hid himself aboard the boat that rowed ashore. As soon as the coast was clear, made a run for the shelter of nearby undergrowth. During this time, what Jim did was he escaped from that boat and took a small boat and went there undergrowth. That means he reached the island. He was delighted that no one appeared to have seen him, but nobody observed this and soon began to enjoy the unfamiliar feeling of being all on his own now. He was a little boy. He was always wandering with someone elder with him, but now he's alone. He is wandering in that island. An hour and so later, Jim was surprised by voices. He was roaming in the island. After 1 hour, he heard the voices again there. He hid and watched as a little way off. Long John Silver tried to persuade the member of the crew to join the mutiny. Mutiny means these are fraud ones, those who are betraying the trust of the captain. So one more person, crew member, he want one more person to add to his team to mutiny, join the mutiny. He is discussing with that person. This is heard by Jim. When the fellow refused and started to walk away, the old pirate drew a long knife and stabbed him in the back. Is what happened. This is observed by Jim here. When that fellow refused to join his betrayal team, at that time he killed him by stabbing him on his back. Because if he leave him, he'll go and tell his plan to captain. That's why. Terrified. Jim was a little boy. He was terrified by this scene and slipped away and ran for his life. If Long John Silver sees the Jim also, he will kill the Jim immediately. That's why he escaped from there. He ran until his legs gave out. He ran fearfully so that his legs are very tired now. At that moment, he ran. Then, when he stopped to catch his breath, he found himself facing a wild looking man dressed all in rags. He visited one man there. I am poor Ben Gun. Here, the character Ben Gun comes here. This is a person marooned by, left alone here on the island by the Captain Flint's team because he betrayed them. That's why they gave him a black spot and left him on the island only. This is the character Bengun. That means he already knew where the treasure was. He was well aware of that island. So this person, Jim, met on that island now. And I haven't spoken with Christine these 3 years. Ben Gunn told Jim he had been on the Captain Flint's ship when the treasure was buried. That means he knew where the treasure is. This treasure is buried by Captain Flint. The previous treasure hunt team, they found the treasure from somewhere and hid this in this island. For this treasure, all these people are searching for now. This Ben Gun is a member of that team. He knew where the treasure was hidden. The wicked pirate had taken 6 men ashore with him to hide the booty and murdered them all, so its location remains secret. In this island only, the treasure is there, but one person takes, took 6 men with him and hid that treasure in that place. And after hiding that, he killed all of them. So that place remains secret now. Ben had returned on another ship to look for the treasure 3 years back. Ben Gun was staying in that island. He returned back to that island, searching that treasure there on that island. But when they could not find it, his shipmates left him marooned on the island. When he could not find, they believed that he is lying, nothing is available on this island. As a punishment, he left him alone. Marooned means left him alone as a punishment on that island. They took the ship and went. Meanwhile, the doctor, the squire, and the Captain Smollett had also decided to go exploring. Jim is on his way alone, but Doctor Livesey and Square Trelawney and Captain Smollett, three of them went to explore that island. Unbothered by the 6 pirates who had been ordered to stay on the boat, they took the ship's jolly boat and rowed ashore. They were rowing the boat and went. Six were on the Hispaniola ship for guarding the ship. They don't bother about them, they went on their own. They soon found what was known as talkable. This was a small house made of wood available on that stockade called it is. That means everything will be stored there. It is a safe place. A sturdy log cabin with a loophole for muskets in its wall and protected by the perimeter fence of stout wooden railing 6 feet high. It was 6 feet high. It has a compound like structure made of wooden, and the whole thing is made of wood only. Small house like structure it is to store the material. They decided this was as good place as any to make stand against the pirates and hurried back to the Hispaniola for supplies. All the supplies what they bought for the survival, they took all of them and they stored in this hut-like structure made of wooden. While these squire's gamekeeper, Red Ruth, kept the pirates at gunpoint. The captain and the others made several journeys ashore with the provisions, arms, and ammunition. Here, Red Ruth was a person. He was a gamekeeper. He is the person from the square side, who was a landlord. Square, Trelawney is the person who kept the Red Roth, his person. He keeping the other pirates at the gunpoint. Now, that ship is under the Square's control now. On the final trip back to the stockade, the captain, the Square, and the doctor, along with those still loyal to them, were attacked by more of the pirates. Because for the survival they need food and the other accessories. All these accessories for that stock they are fighting for each other. Without that they cannot survive there. The pirates lost one dead and two were injured in that, but Red Ruth was also shot and died soon after. Here the landlord Square lost the Red Ruth, his person, in this fight. The pirates who had retreated started and bombardment from the ship's cannon. Again, the fight started with a bombardment, but as the stockade was out of Hispaniola's sight, the balls fell well wide of their mark. Fight stopped now. Jim and Ben Gunn were surprised by the sound of the distant cannon fire. Here they were fighting. That sound, bombarding sound, was heard by Jim and Ben Gunn. They were terrified and stood there only. They are watching from the distance. Jim told Ben about Long John Silver and the pirates. So now Jim is telling the story about the Long John Silver who is betraying them and want to attack them. This story Jim is telling to Ben Gunn, who met on that island and asked him to go with him to find his friends. He's asking friend to help him. Ben shook his head because Ben was also betrayed by Long John Silver. He knew him. He said that he knew Long John Silver from way back when they were both members of the Flint's crew, and added that if Jim's friends gave him a promise of safe passage home, then he would help them. Ben Gunn told that if you want to return back to your island safely, then take me in. I know Long John Silver very well. I will betray him and save you. This is the promise given by the Ben Gunn to Jim. I will help you. With that, he slipped away into the undergrowth. Again, they hid in the trees. When the evening fell, the pirates stopped their useless bombardment. Jim approached the stockade cautiously. He knew that his team members were there, but when he saw the Union Jack flying above it, he knew that it was his allies who occupied it. The flag of Long John Silver was hosting there. By this, Jim understood that this is not his teammates' control now. The stockade is under the control of Long John Silver now. Jim's friends were delighted to see him safe and sound, and amazed to hear about Ben Gunn. But he escaped from there. He met his team and they were very happy that Jim is safe now. And they were amazed by the adventure done by Jim, that he met Ben Gunn and found him and teamed him up with them. This was his adventure. The captain then told everyone it was time to sleep. Along with him, the squire and the doctor. There were just two more of the squire's men. Only four are there. Now the landlord square, Relone, and the doctor Livesay, and two other men were there on their team. Remaining all are with the Long John Silver, who had remained loyal, six men and a boy against the 15 pirates who still survived. Out of 26, now only almost 2021 are remaining now. 4 5 died in that fight. The next morning, Long John Silver appeared at the stockade's perimeter fence carrying a flag of truce. He carried a flag and came there. He offered to spare a defender's lives if they gave him the treasure map. Now he has a more men with him because half of the men were hired by the Long John Silver. Okay, this was a mistake done by Square. Now he has 20 men with him. Okay, out of 26, almost more people are with him. That's why his upper hand now. So now he is bargaining with them that give me the treasure map now. He's asking them. He want to take a whole control out of that and then want to kill them. Captain Smollett refused him point blank and saying the pirates' word was not worth the rotten ship's biscuit and that they had no intention of giving up the treasure map anyway. They didn't give him the map. He's asking for a map now. No sooner had Long John Silver hobbled angrily away than the pirates attacked the stockade. He was very angry and went outside and attacked the stockade with his pirates. The defenders retreated into the long cabin from which they exchanged musket fire with the pirates. This is musket fire means this is the old guns at that time available. Okay, they started firing at each other and fight started with the guns. Suddenly, several attackers swarmed over the perimeter fence, attacked to the fence there. Two were shot down, one retreated, but four of them made it to do the cabin wall, where they were able to shoot in through the building's loopholes at will. Realizing the tables had been turned now, the defenders rushed outside and fought the pirates hand to hand. Now, what happened? The tables turned down. Defenders who were inside the that compound like structure, they went outside and started fighting hand to hand with him because all their bullets were empty now. Few minutes later, the pirates lay dead, but two of the square's men had perished as well, and the captain was wounded. In this fight, almost all the pirates lay dead there. The square's team also, Square Trelawney Doctor's team also lost two men in this fight, and Captain Smollett was wounded in this event. While the remaining defenders buried the dead, the doctor made his way off into the woods, intent on a secret plan. Doctors slipped them away from them. He has a secret plan. He went there alone. Jim too had an idea. Jim has his own idea. With the darkness approaching, he armed himself with a pistol and slipped away into the shadows. He went. He made his way to the seashore, where he found a small homemade boat that the Ben Gunn had told him about. Ben Gunn rescued the Jim here, giving him a small boat to escape from there because after this fight, the Long John Silver used to kill them all. This is the plan. That's why they scattered away from there. Alone, alone, alone. If they are in a team, they will kill them definitely. That's why they are escaping. This is the old boat given by Ben Gunn to Jim. He told him, I'll leave a boat there. You escape from there. He told the idea to the Jim because he understood very well the Long John Silver, how cunning he was. That's why he made a underpass plan for the rescue from them. The little craft closely resembled the coracle. The name of that little boat was coracle and was very difficult to handle because it was very old and rough to handle. But he has to manage to survive. But he succeeded in paddling padding it out to the Hispaniola from which the drunken shouting voices could be heard. He wanted to go towards the Hispaniola and stay there the night, but the people drunken voice was hearing from that Hispaniola ship. Jim wasted no time cutting through the ship's mooring ropes and setting it adrift. He cut the rope off. He succeeded in cutting the rope from that ship and escaped from there also. By that time, the tide was ebbing fast. The waves are very fast, and current in the channel was very strong at that time. He has to paddle with the um, hut, paddling, what we call. Jim found himself stuck helplessly along with it. He was going along with the waves. He can't manage go opposite to the waves. He went as they slip away with the waves. Thinking he was as good as dead, he thought that he's dead at that night. He allowed exhaustion to overwhelm him. He's sleeping in that small boat, coracle boat only. The next morning, Jim awaked to find himself drifting near to the island's north coast. The Hispaniola is the south coast of the island. He reached the north coast of the island now. Close by was a Hispaniola, seemingly deserted. Now Hispaniola also reached the north because of the waves. It reached there, and nobody was there. He hurriedly paddled over to it and clambered aboard. He climbed up the Hispaniola. Nobody was there in that ship. It was abandoned now. If On the ship, Jim found the two pirates who raised voices he had heard the night before. Again, two people were there in that. Instead of six, two people were survived in that fight. Two were there in the ship now. They had obviously had a fight. One lay dead. They each other fighting there, and the other had bad wound on his thigh now. They were fighting each other. Two were remaining. Two are fighting to each other in that ship. Jim took the ship's wheel now. He took the control of the ship now and steered for a creek in the north of the island where it could safely be run ashore. So he took the control of the ship now. The surviving pirate, who minutes before had seemed to be gravely wounded, suddenly sprang at Jim. He started to jump on Jim to kill him. As the ship ran gently around, the pirate chased Jim up the main mast rigging and threw a knife at him to kill the Jim. Although Jim was slightly wounded, he managed to aim his pistol and shoot his attacker dead. Only two were there, one already dead. The second person was jumping at him to attack him, but he used his pistol and attacked him and shoot him dead. Very pleased that he had captured the ship, now the control of the ship is in the Captain Smollett's team, so that the Jim is on their team. And it was in a safe place. Jim made his way back to the stockade. But to his horror, it was a Long John Silver and the pirates who greeted him. The stockade is now under the control of Long John Silver. His team was not there. It was a horror scene for Jim now. For some reason, the doctor had given it up to them along with the treasure map. Now, treasure map is also there with the Long John Silver, and Stockade is also under control of the Long John Silver. The captain gave them, Captain Smollett gave them. This was the part of the plan. Long John Silver told Jim that as he had been deserted by his friends, he should now join the pirates, but Jim refused. Now he wanted Jim also on his own side. He was very cunning man, but Jim refused him. Jim said that after seeing so much treachery, so much betrayal by Long John Silver, he cannot join him. And blood, he no longer cared what happened to him. Now I don't care what happened. I may also die in this. I don't bother about that. But he wanted the pirates to know that it was he who uncovered the plot, and it was he who took the ship. Now ship is under my control, and I told your plan to them. This was the person I am. The Jim is telling to him the whole story now. The other pirates wanted to kill him. Other pirates wanted to kill the Jim now, but Long John Silver was impressed by his brave speech and told his men the lad would be of a far more use to them as a live hostage than the dead cabin boy. So he don't want to kill him because he need a man, and this boy is intelligent. That's why he want to keep him on his side. They don't want to kill him. Long John Silver whispered to Jim that with the ship gone, he was in desperate pickle. He gave Jim to understand that if he were given the promise for lenient treatment, he would be prepared to surrender to Captain Smollett. This cunning man was very smart in making decisions. Now he knew that uh, his plan is not going as per he wish. He want to get into their team now. He want to join the Smollett team. So he's want to surrender to Captain Smollett now. He's asking Jim for help now. Pirates, meanwhile, were very angry at losing so many men and being marooned and gave Long John Silver the black spot. Now, the remaining pirates were very angry because Long John Silver is now leaving that team. Who is the leader of the mutiny? This is a group of mutiny. Mutinians who are betraying the trust. Mutiny team it is. So, now he, as a captain, he is leaving all these people and joining the opposite team. Such a scoundrel he was, Long John Silver. He is always looking at his own profits now. Other pirates were very angry with him now. On its other side was the word deposed and who doomed the mission to failure. And one-legged pirate yelled at them, "You are all the reason who failed this. If they had waited until after the treasure was found before mutinying, then by now they would all have been rich." Now he is scolding, Long John Silver is scolding them, making them, you are all the people who were in hurry in betraying them, but until the treasure would have found, if you waited, then after that, if you betrayed them, everything would be in our control. You made a hurry, that is your wrong decision. That's what the Long John Silver is scolding them now. A little later, Dr. Livesey appeared under the flag of truce and treated the wounded men and also who were now suffering from the malaria. He is treating the wounded men also. He was doctor and treating the people of that island who are suffering from malaria. He was allowed a few words with Jim. Now he is talking to Jim. Told him all about taking the ship. Now Jim told him that ship is under my control now. I took the ship now. He's telling to doctor now. Doctor replied he had done very well, most especially in finding the Bengun. Doctor appreciated him for doing two adventures. What adventures the Jim did here is one, taking control of the ship, the Hispaniola, and one more thing is meeting Bengun and taking Bengun in their team, who helped them in capturing the treasure, who was well experienced in that know everything about that island. Before leaving again, he warned Long John Silver to be aware of the squalls when digging up the treasure. Doctor is warning him, they are marooning him. That means living behind in that island alone as a punishment to Long John Silver, and he's threatening him and making him fear that the squales are there in this island. While digging the treasure up, be aware of that squall. They may eat you up. He's telling to Long John Silver. After breakfast, the pirates set off to find the treasure, taking Jim, who was tied to rope, along with them. Now Jim is under arrest of Long John Silver. They, after breakfast, they're going for a hunt in the morning. They are taking Jim with them as a roping, tying his hands along with them, taking Jim. Jim was still very puzzled as to why the doctor had given the pirates both the stockade and the treasure map. He's puzzled. Initially, he refused to give the treasure map. Now he is giving stockade as well as treasure map to them. What is his plan? Now he's thinking. But he supposed it must have been part of some plan. He thought, yeah, it might be like that. He's thinking. He's smart. At the length, following the directions of the treasure map, the pirates reached a clearing in which they found a sun-bleached skeleton. They found a lot of skeletons near that spot. Suddenly, an arrow voice rang out singing, 15 men on a dead man's chest. Oh, yo ho, and a bottle of rum. Again, the person is singing. They terrified the pirates stopped that. Who is singing the song? Now, the Bengun. Even the Long John Silver looked frightened. Long John Silver is such a cunning man. Everybody frightened of him, but he is also frightened now. But then he told his men that the ghost voices did not echo like that. And anyway, ghost or no, nothing was going to keep them from their booty. That means booty means the treasure. We are going to get it anyway. we are not going to fear because the ghost's voice will not echo. This is not a ghost, he is telling. The pirates moved on again and eventually caught sight of the gantry that marked the spot where Captain Flint had buried the bulk of his treasure. They found the place now. Oh, Long John Silver's team found that place along with the Jim there. Okay. Long John Silver's eyes gleamed with greed, and Jim knew that any promises he had made were now completely forgotten. He even killed his own team members, even Jim also now, because he got treasure thought now. Then the pirates let out a gasp of dismay, for under the trees was a gasping hole in the ground, and they started digging there and at obviously being dug several months ago. Several months ago, the treasure was taken out from there. By whom? Ben Gunn. It was taken out by them. They knew the treasure is not here now. They come to know that. The despairing pirates dug the earth at the bottom of the hole with their bare hands, but the treasure had gone now. They didn't get anything. Then they turned on Long John Silver and the Jim, accusing them of treachery. Treachery means betraying the trust. Why they are blaming them is Long John Silver betrayed them. He made a mutiny team to betray the captain's team, and he is the leader of a mutiny team. But now on the way, he left them alone, wanted to join the captain Smollett's team. Okay, they abandoned them and again joined them. This was all these activities done by Long John Silver made him the treachery. And Jim, they are accusing Jim as the treacherous because Jim, whenever the fight starts, the pirates start fighting each other. Jim escaped from there, and when fight settled down, Jim comes into the picture again. This is what Jim is doing there. Okay, that's why they are calling Jim also accusing of treachery. But before they could do them any harm, the volley of gunshots rang out. Before they start killing Long John Silver or Jim, but they heard the gunshots rang out. Two of the pirates were fell down to the ground, dead now. The remaining three turned and ran for their lives. Now Jim is safe now. Dr. Livesey, where Trelawney and Ben Gunn stepped out of the nearby undergrowth, their muskets still smoking. Muskets means the guns at that time. Guns are called the muskets. One type of the gun at that time, handmade guns. Those are they are still firing. Means they are still hot of their bullet firing. These same Jim's team came there to protect Jim there. Along with them, Long John Silver also saved with them. The doctor told Jim and the Long John Silver that they had only reached them in time because Ben had held the pirates with his ghostly song. Pirates afraid a little bit of the ghostly song sung by Ben Gunn there. That's why a delay in digging that happened because of the fear of that Long John Silver's team. They fear to get close and start digging. That time give them to reach and save the team. As they made their way to Ben Gunn's cave, where Captain Smollett was recovering. Captain Smollett was injured in the previous fight. He was recovering there. Ben Gunn gave them shelter there, and the doctor explained how he had gone to find the Ben Gunn. How they find the Ben Gunn. When he learned that Ben Gunn had already found the treasure and taken it to his cave, and also saw that the ship had vanished, he gave the pirates the treasure map. So, treasure according to the treasure map, where the treasure is there, that place at that place, the treasure is not there. The treasure is taken by Ben Gunn now. That's why in the beginning, the second time when Long John Silver asked the stockade and the map, both are given by the Captain Smollett, and everything is under their control. But the only thing is that ship was there, ship was not there under control. But now Jim took the control of the ship. He gave the pirates and the treasure map, which was now useless, and let them have the stockade. Let them have stockade and the map. Let them search. He made him busy in searching the treasure and save their lives. Where he was sure they would go down with the malaria. They may also catch the malaria there because that island is suffering from malaria now. Over the next few days, those who were still fit enough loaded all the treasure onto the Hispaniola. Some were died of the diseases there, but who are fit still going with the Hispaniola ship, which was easily refloated on the high tide. Now it is on the way back to the England now. The captain on the road to recover. Captain is recovering on the way and said that because they were so short-handed, they should sail to the nearby Spanish Americas to take on more men. So to control the ship, they need more men. That's why they want to hire the more crew members. That's why they want to go first the Spanish America to take hire more men on the ship. Now, the three surviving pirates were left on the island. Three surviving pirates were left alone there because they betrayed the team. But much more human a punishment than that they had planned for their victims. This is they don't want to kill them, but they left them alone, marooned there on the island. As the Hispaniola sailed away, one of them shouldered his musket and put a ball in just over the Long John Silver's head. As the ship is going away, out of three men left there on the shore, one of them take a musket or gun and want to shoot the Long John Silver's head. Because of him, they were on the Long John Silver's betrayal team. On reaching the mainland, more crew were taken on. At this time, Captain chose some more crew members to help them in sailing the boat. They hired them and their journey started. Long John Silver managed to slip off board, taking with him some 400 in coin. He took a small boat and takes some 400 coins out of that treasure and he's escaping from there. Everyone was relieved to see the last of him. The journey back to England passed without incident. That journey was smooth. They reached back England without any hurdles now. The expedition survivors all received an ample share of the treasure. Who reached the England, they got shares of their treasure, while the rest used their money wisely. Everybody used their earned money wisely. Jim learned that Ben Gunn was poor again within a month. Within a month, he lost all his money. Ben Gunn became again poor again. This was the end of the story. The Jim never had the urge to go to sea again. Jim don't want to go to sea again. Don't want to do adventure again, especially not to the treasure island. Although it was said that some of the treasure still remained undug there. They get only part of it. Still treasure was there, even though he knew that he don't want to go there. In his worst nightmares, he would dream of the surf breaking over the island's rocks and Captain Flint's shrill cry, pieces of eight, pieces of eight. That means Captain Flint's Atma was still there on that island. Pieces of eight, pieces of eight. What this song heard on that night was really, it was sung by Captain Flint's soul there. Still, there, this was the fear he has having. This is the end of the story. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, and save the playlist. Thank you very much. Bye bye.